Hi there. Hi. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here with me. And today we are going to go into another money block or money fear, which is the fear of jealousy or being afraid what other people will think of you once you have more money. And before we tap into this topic a bit more, I just wanted to explain quickly, is this money fear a real thing or is just like bullshit? And that topic came up because I went into a networking and there was a guy and I was talking about money fears. And this guy raised his hand and he said like, Gabby, I understand what you talk about, but I'm not afraid of money at all. You can give me whatever money you like. I will not be afraid of it. So I thought that's a very good question. And I think most people have that question a little bit. And for me to answer, there are two things you need to understand. First of all, it could be happening that consciously you are not afraid of money, which is amazing. But unfortunately, unconsciously, you might be afraid of it because of what will happen. And unconsciously, it means that simply there are certain parts of you who are not okay with big money. They don't like it for whatever reason, and that can create a misalignment. So it can be very well happening for you that consciously you are okay, and please keep that. But it could be some parts of you being not okay with money, and that we want to change. And the other thing that we need to understand here is that actually people are never afraid of money, but they are afraid of the consequences of money, what money can bring to them. So for example, in this case, the fear is what people will think of you once you have big money, how they will react to it. Will they be jealous or will they have envy, or what do they think or say behind your back? And you can see very well that there is like people are not afraid of money by itself, but they are afraid of the consequences. Okay. So just to summarize this part, money fear is a real thing and it's not necessarily connected to the money, but connecting to the emotions behind the money or what it will bring you. Okay. So let's tap into this money fear a bit more. So the fear around other people being jealous of you can show up in two different ways. One is more typical for men and the other one is more typical for women. So one of the ways how this fear can show up in your life is that you are afraid that once you tap into more money and more success, other people will maybe sabotage your success, or they will be jealous, but they will do something negative against you. They will maybe gossip behind your back. They will try to harm you in some sort of way. This is more typical for men to feel that or to think that, and that can send a message to your subconscious mind that it's very dangerous to have big money. And in that way, you can limit yourself and you can go into stagnation. The other typical fear of other people, what do they think of us, is more typical for women. This is more about the emotional side, where women are afraid that once they have more money, what do other people think of them? And they will maybe not love them. They will be outcasted, or they will feel alone, or they will feel others will feel jealousy towards them. So they are basically having the feelings of like sadness, I am alone, and therefore they can sabotage money, or they can sabotage more money. So how this can, both of the fears can show up in the way where you are, yes, making money, but also at the same time limiting yourself, and you can create this stagnation. So when we want to look back, where is this fear coming from? It comes from the other generations that we have had before. And sometimes, unfortunately, it's still current in this reality as well. But definitely when we look back into other generations or history, it has been very dangerous to be wealthy, because very often other people or even other nations were attacking the ones who had money. And therefore you needed to hide money. You needed to maybe not have enough money so that you can feel safe and protected. So it's very much engraved in our generational line and in the history as well. So when you look into this fear, it's very important to give yourself empathy and compassion, because this was a real thing 1 or 2 generations ago. Let me tell a story that happened to a client of mine. She's a lady and she said, Gabby, I am very close to creating big money in my life, but the moment I get close to it, it somehow is delayed or something happens and then the money never comes. And we looked into her generational stories, and it turned out that I think her great-grandfather created a very big health. It was like almost like a generational money that he created. But some kind of conflict came up in the family between the grandfather and the brother. And what happened that they went into a lawsuit, they had a big fight, conflict, the money was gone, and there was also a family, like a big family conflict. So in her subconscious mind, big money is equal or equals family loss or even loss of the money, and therefore it's a dangerous thing to have. And of course, nobody wants to have danger, and therefore we create stagnation. So what do you do with this money fear or money block? So the first part is always to recognize it and be conscious of it. And then, of course, when you are conscious of it, you want to, just have empathy or around it. That there are two levels that you want to tap into this. The first one is to find out what are the limiting thoughts that you have with this topic. So this would be the mental level. And then the other one is about the emotional side of it. What are the core emotions that are associated with it? What are the core negative emotions? So, because what's important here is you want to be very precise what exactly is the thought or what exactly is the emotion, because the more precise you are, the more, easily you can transform it. It's very much like, going to the doctor and having some symptoms of problems. If you don't know exactly what's going on, you can't really heal your stuff. Like the doctor needs to identify, or you need to identify very, very precisely where the problem is, right? Is it your liver or kidney or whatever? Because if you are just randomly thinking, okay, that's my problem, then you can't heal it very well. The same is with emotional wounding or mental wounding. You want to be very precise and on spot in order to heal it quickly. Let me give you an exercise on the mental side, okay? So just write down the following sentence, and the sentence goes like this. I am easily manifesting my next level money goal. And then continue the sentence, but I don't want to because, and just let your subconscious finish the sentence and see what comes up. And this way you can bring up the negative limitations. So for example, I am easily manifesting my next level money goal, but I don't want to because maybe my partner will not like me anymore. Or, but I don't want to because I will be alone and nobody will like me anymore. So with this exercise, you can tap into the exact beliefs and then see what is lingering in your subconscious mind. And once you have the exact beliefs that, are limiting you, you can work with that a bit more. And the main question is always, is this really true? So for example, if the belief is, my partner will not like me anymore, or my husband will not love me, or my wife will not love me anymore, is this really true? And then, of course, you always have two answers. Yes, it's true, or no, it's not true. And if the answer is yes, it's true, your husband or whoever will not love you anymore, then you need to do some more work around your relationship, because if there is a problem created because you are going to your next level, then you need to look into the level of the relationship. Because if this is a very good relationship, then the other partner should be pretty much happy about your success. And if this is not the case, then there is some kind of healing that needs to happen. But in most cases, the answer would be that no, this is not a true sentence. My partner, husband, whoever will be very happy about my success. He or she might be triggered a little bit. Maybe he or she might be jealous a bit, but then they can handle the jealousy, like they will not transform into a monster. They will be okay. So the sentence is not true. And why would you keep in mind a sentence that is a false belief? In that case, you can just easily let go, because when you say something is not true, then it's basically a lie. And why would you keep a lie in your system? You can easily let go. So to summarize this part, you want to find out what is the exact belief you have around other people thinking of you when you are rich, and then asking yourself, yourself, is this really true or not, or how you can go with that, or how you can move on with that. The second part is working with your emotions. And that's also a very important part, because emotions have very strong effect on us, very strong power, especially the negative ones, also the positive ones. But when it comes to other people being jealous and then, like they envying you, that can also bring up some negative emotions as well. So the exercise is very much the same. Think of your next money goal and feel into what would be the negative emotion that would come up. Maybe it is fear, or maybe it's worry, or maybe you feel guilty that you have more than other people, or maybe you feel even ashamed. It could be a combination of all of those. And in that case, what I recommend is to find an exercise that helps you to transform this emotion, okay? So for example, maybe you are going into the fear of guilt. In that case, what you can do, maybe use the technique of EFT. This is an emotional release exercise, but you can also use other techniques and find a way to release the guilt and go into another emotion, which could be the emotion of joy or inspiration or something else, okay? And then what you want is, once you are releasing the negative emotion, you can think of your next money goal, and you can invite or tap into more of the positive emotions. So maybe inspiration or commitment or gratitude. And once you have these positive emotions, then it's more easier to achieve your next goal. Okay? So that was it for today. We talked a little bit about the fear of jealousy and what other people think of you when you have your next money goal. And now you have 2 exercises how you can move forward. And if you want to work with me, you can book a free call, and you can definitely check it out, how I work and how I can read your subconscious mind and help you to move to your next level. Take care, and I'm excited to see you on my next video.